Game day's here, I can hear the crowd. Turn on the lights, fans are cranked up and loud. Red or blue, we wear it proud. Yeah, we love our teams in this border town. Chiefs and Royals, Boo Mizzou, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Hear that drum pounding in your feet. Yeah, you're marching to the beat of KC.
Down 12 with 14 minutes to go. What changed?
We just kept grinding. You know, they made hard shots. I thought we actually guarded them pretty well, but we just stuck to the game plan, and guys made plays down the stretch. That was a big win for us. We got better this week.
What did you learn about the character of this team throughout these 3 games?
I think we're I've complained about us being a little soft, but today we were tough, and that's the thing I'm most proud of.
Melvin, for you, Trey fouls out. You knew someone needed to step up. What was your mindset?
That's my brother. I told him I got him, and that's what I did.
$300,000 to the NIL Collective. How does that sound, you guys?
That sound good.
Congratulations, you guys. 3rd place. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
No. What?
What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? What is going on, Jayhawk Nation? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and the Kansas Jayhawks mount a comeback and absolutely come away with a big-time victory, take home 3rd place in the Players Era Festival in Las Vegas. They will be banking $300,000 in NIL bonus. Absolutely incredible. They take down number 17 Tennessee. We stormed old Rocky Top, and we got Rick Barnes, the best of Rick Barnes. Gotcha, buddy. I'm excited for this video to talk about it. If you can't tell the beginning of how this video started, I played 2 incredible clips from the Kansas Jayhawks victory, and we're going to jump in. We're really going to talk about this. Before we get too deep into this video, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to see the evolution of this team. We're starting to see them play cohesively. We're starting to see them really understand each other's roles, and they're stepping up when it matters the most. And I think the biggest thing is they showed adversity. They showed that they could overcome a huge deficit, and they really took on the challenge that Tennessee provided. I mean, they played phenomenal defense when it mattered. They drove to the basket. They got to the foul line, which we'll talk about, because if you pay attention to my videos, you know how I feel about the free throw line. Holy smokes. And the contributions from who this came from. We're really going to talk about the bench. We're really going to talk about this game in its entirety. I mean, I'm amped. If you can't tell, I am absolutely amped. I was on the edge of my seat watching this game, and I had this feeling, I had this inclination that the Kansas Jayhawks, even though they were down, 12 points, they were going to mount a comeback. I just had this feeling. This just felt like one of those games. So we're going to jump in. In the 3rd place game of the Players Era Festival in Las Vegas, the Kansas Jayhawks erased a 12-point second-half deficit to defeat the previously unbeaten number 17 Tennessee Volunteers 81-76. Down by as many 12 points in the 15-minute mark, Kansas mounted a convincing rally, outscoring Tennessee 47-35 in the second half. Key to the comebacks were 2 standout performances from Melvin Council Jr., who really stepped up, ladies and gentlemen. He is an absolute dog. And Elmarco Jackson, who, I was critical of. Elmarco has played a few minutes throughout this season, and those minutes haven't really been a highlight. Elmarco Jackson was a highlight tonight. I mean, he contributed 17 points. They both scored 17 points. And Jackson went a perfect 7 from 7 from the free throw line. You guys know how I feel about the free throw line, which we'll talk about. Support came from Trey White with 14 points. Unfortunately, Trey would foul out, but I really think when Trey fouled out, he got this team rallied. He got them motivated. And Flory Badunga, 13 points. Flory started off extremely slow. I think he was like 0 for 7 He really started off slow, but would contribute 13 points. They helped Kansas erase the deficit and seize a lead late. The decisive blow came with about 5:36 left in the game, a layup by Paul Mbaya, and the reason Paul was even in the game was because obviously Trey White fouled out, Flory Badunga was on the bench, getting some rest, and they had Bryson Tiller out there, I believe, with 3 fouls. Well, he picked up his 4th foul, and so Bill had to go to another big man, and he was like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and send Paul Mbaya out there. He went ahead and put Kansas ahead, and later Jackson would drive, extending the lead. Kansas then held on despite a late run by Tennessee. With that win, the Jayhawks finished the week 3-0 in Vegas, having defeated Notre Dame, having defeated the Syracuse Orange, and taking down the Volunteers in 3 consecutive days, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think how taxing that is on a basketball team. The fact that they played 2 games in back-to-back, let alone 3, and it should just tell you the fortitude, the inner fortitude that this team has, the grittiness, the ability to play 3 consecutive days, fight through those, the lag, fight through really that adversity to come away with a 3-0. Bill Self talked about it, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Self said the biggest thing that he got from this team was the fact that they played tough. They played physical, and that's what he was excited to see. Kansas shot 42.1% from the field and 41.2% from the 3-arc. Tennessee shot 41.3% overall, but only 28% from beyond the arc. And I think, to me, that's a big statement. And the reason is because I've questioned through this year so far the ability to space out on defense and cover the 3-ball. Whether that's defense or that's Tennessee just being off from the 3-point line, I think that really kind of just speaks to how this team is starting to play defense. They are a top defense in KenPom, and it really reflected tonight. For Tennessee, the comparatively poor 3-point shooting, that 28% we talked about, and lower free throw conversion is what helped the swing in this close contest. You often need high efficiency late ability when leads like this vanish. They had to maintain that, and they just could not find a way. The 3 main categories I constantly look at, ladies and gentlemen, are rebounds, free throws, and turnovers. I tell you this all the time. If you lead in majority of those categories, you're going to come out with a victory. So let's jump in. Clutch scoring and free throws. The strong free throw performance by Kansas, both as a team and individually, helped them maintain composure late and convert high-pressure possessions. The Jayhawks converted 86.7% of their free throws versus Tennessee's 77.3%. I tell you all the time, if this team finds a way to shoot 75% from the free throw line, which the last 2 nights, the night they played Syracuse, they shot 90%, and tonight they shot 86.7%. That is a big check mark in winning a basketball game. In a market that never sleeps, one name rises above the rest. Lisa Miller from Dan Lynch Real Estate. Trusted by hundreds and recognized across the Midwest. She delivers results when it matters the most. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait, your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-3000 or visit lisamillersaleskc.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next exciting chapter. And let her know the beat of KC, Lucas Murphy, sent you her way. The next thing was rebounding was nearly even. Kansas, 37 boards to Tennessee's 36. Again, a category in which Kansas would come away. So right now, they are 2 of the 3. Now, once again, the Kansas Jayhawks, unfortunately, committed 9 turnovers to Tennessee's 7. That is a huge reduction from what it has been. So at least they improved. That's something to take away as a positive. But the fact that they were able to get 2 of the 3 categories in which I focus on, they came out with the win. Now, impact of the bench and support. This is the most important piece of this entire game. Elmarco Jackson's 17 points were crucial. He matched the leading scorer among starters in Melvin Council Jr., giving Kansas a powerful spark beyond the starting five. The bench points are what helped Kansas survive foul trouble to the starters, specifically with Bryson Tiller, as well as, the fouling out of Trey White. It just shows you right there. And sub in fresh legs while maintaining offensive momentum. That's another thing. Sometimes when we sub in guys off the bench, you can tell momentum is kind of taken away. In this case, the offensive momentum built and it grew. Jackson scoring, especially his three-pointer late, he had a couple that were pretty solid, and free throws helped swing momentum during the comeback. Having 22 bench points reduces pressure on the starters, especially when they foul out, makes the offense more balanced because it gives Bill Self more options and gives the teams resilience, especially valuable when trailing by double digits as they were early in the second half. Now, why these bench points matter? Obviously because it won them the game, but at the same time, the bench stepping up shows Kansas has contributors beyond the usual starting lineup, and I think that's the biggest thing for me, is the fact that we were questioning who's going to be first up off the bench. We've seen the starting five kind of mixed up when they got to Vegas. Jamari McDowell has inserted into the starting lineup. Cole Rosario went to the bench. In this case, Elmarco Jackson was the one that really stepped up. That bodes well over a long season, especially when injuries or foul trouble occur, and in this case, foul trouble was a thing. Momentum swings. Jackson's scoring burst came at critical junctures in the game, helping ignite the comeback. Bench scoring often plays a pivotal role when starters struggle or when the game is tight. Teams' confidence and flexibility, it shows the flexibility. It shows that they have confidence in the guys coming off the bench. Knowing the bench can produce gives coaching staff more options, specifically in this case Bill Self, and allows starters to rest without losing offensive production, which can pay off in the future games, especially the stretch of games that we have, the type of schedule we have, the conference we play in the Big 12. It's going to be a huge factor knowing that Elmarco Jackson has a game like this in him. Jamari McDowell, when he goes back to the bench, when Darren Peterson comes back, we know that he plays solid defense and can contribute some valuable minutes when it matters. Paul Mbaya clearly goes out there and clutches up. This deep bench is important. It's something the Kansas Jayhawks have not had for a few years now. Now, what this comeback means. The comeback win underscores Kansas's resilience even when trailing big. I think to me that's a factor, especially when we get down and playing these big teams. I still felt there was an opportunity to defeat Duke, and it was shown. We just didn't have Darren Peterson. But it shows that they have the capabilities of coming back in a big game, specifically against the Tennessee Volunteers. And I think when trailing big, the Jayhawks showed composure and execution. They didn't let this game just keep getting out of hand. They stayed in the game, they continued to execute, they stuck to the game plan, and they followed through. The balanced scoring of Council Jr., Jackson, White, and Badunga demonstrated that the Kansas doesn't just rely on one star. Well, when Darren Peterson comes back, we know he's going to get his. Multiple players stepped up and delivered. With this victory, Kansas concluded a perfect run in Las Vegas, gaining momentum and confidence as they head into this next stretch of games. The Kansas Jayhawks will rest and return to Lawrence, Kansas, as they will prepare for the Yukon Huskies as they enter Allen Fieldhouse on Tuesday, December 2nd. Going to be a huge matchup, ladies and gentlemen. You know Allen Fieldhouse is going to be next level. It's going to be next level, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be max amped. This is going to be an environment unlike any other in any sport. This is going to be an all-time game. It really is. And then they turn around and play Missouri. There's going to be a huge stretch of games, and this one was just building momentum. I appreciate y'all checking out this video. It means so much to me. The support has been so amazing for the KU Jayhawks. It's just been unreal. I can't thank y'all enough. Comment down below. Let me know, guys, what you thought of this game. Really, how was the momentum? What were you thinking as we were down 12 points? Man, it's just incredible. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. And I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.